Hi everyone, welcome back to another review. This time we have the mighty Apocalypse from Marvel's X-Men, one of the greatest villains. So before we proceed, let's get back to the beginning and have the box opening and see the color box, okay? So hang on, it's a good one today. Okay, here we have the art box with Apocalypse on it, the big A. And the side, there's not much going on the left side, and we spin it to the back of the box, and there you have it, the Apocalypse PF box. It's very simple but nice. You know, it's got the drawn picture of the Apocalypse. Okay, and then we'll proceed down to the statue itself. Statue's pretty big, and I'll give you guys a measurement of it. That's the body, obviously. You have the base here, and then this is the, I believe, the gun hand, the left forearm, the head, and then moving over here we have the chainsaw switch out hand, and of course the tubing. There should be 4 of those. Okay, so as you can see, I have to bring the camera back just to capture all of it. Okay, so let's go back to the statue itself. Alright, here we have the base. It's pretty wide, so my little carousel, as you can see on the bottom, won't fit in the base. So I'm burning 2 pieces of wood, and you know, the base is okay. It's some form of industrial, I guess, machinery base. Nothing special here. So as you can see with the 360. And that's the back of the base. The front will be this. Okay, now we'll put the statue on and see what it looks like. Okay, this is with the body on the base. It's a 1-pegger. So basically you have 1 metal peg on the right foot and it slips right in. And this thing, I gotta tell you guys, is massive. I think the spec's over 24 inches. Without the chainsaw, so I'll do a measurement for you guys. And as you can see, this is a pretty impressive sculpt. Okay, and we'll go do a spinny. Pretty easy to put on. No big deal, not too difficult. And then this is where you're going to put the left arm with the gun and the chainsaw. Okay. And as you can see, this is where you're putting the head. And mine did not come with the magnets. I don't think this one comes with it. It fits pretty snug. So maybe they had planned on doing magnets or something in the past, but that's okay. Okay, this is what the head looks like. Give you a 360 around back, which you will probably never see when you put it in. Pretty detailed with the gritting teeth. Okay, so now we're going to put on the head. And like I said before, there's no magnet underneath this, so it just slips right in. So what we're going to do is do this. And there you go. He's looking down, as he should be. Okay, now we'll attach the arm. Okay, we've got the left forearm, no magnets, just straight up pin. And we're going right to the hole. Okay, so we're going to insert it and voila, There you go. As you can see, it's not a perfect fit. There's some seams right there, but that's okay. Now, and then if you can look at the top, there's another hole, no magnets for the chainsaw or the gun. Okay, so we're going to do that now. Okay, so that's what it looks like with the regular gun. Now when you do this, be very careful, because when you put the gun in, it's going to put stress downward on this. So you want to put your hand underneath the arm to support it. Okay, and mine, it's got some form of gunk or rust or whatever on the peg, so it's very difficult for me to put it in. I'm going to be contacting Sideshow to see if I can get a replacement. Because as of right now, when I jammed it in, it's going to be very hard to take out. Okay, and then now I will be doing the cables, and then we'll do the chainsaw. Okay. Okay, you get 4 tubings to put on the back of Apocalypse, and you're going to connect them here, 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 2 around the neck, and 2 underneath there, right there. So the ones in the back are pretty loose, and then the ones on the arms are a little bit tighter, so of course it won't fall out. Okay, so we'll be doing that momentarily, and just to give you a quick look in the back. Very nice. And these tubes are bendable. You should be a little bit more careful with these, because on the forums it looks like they aren't one piece, I guess, plastic. There's a rod inside and the plastic tubing on the outside. It's not natural color, it's painted on, so some people are getting flaking paint. So be careful when you bend these. Okay, so we'll be putting them on. Okay, that's with everything in, and to give you an idea on how big this thing is, or how high it is, I will be doing a measurement from the base all the way up to his head and the gun. Okay, so I'll be getting the tape measurement, and then you guys can see. Okay, so going from the base all the way up to Apocalypse's head, it looks like it's just under 25 inches, so we'll call it 24 and a half. Okay? Okay, so going from the base all the way up to the gun as the accessory, we have just under 30 inches but over 29 inches. So make room for 30 inches if you're going to display this in the case. Okay, so now we will switch out for the chainsaw arm, and then I will do measurement for you guys. Okay, so basically from the bottom of the base to the top of the chainsaw, you're looking at 30 and a half exactly. So make at least 31 inches for this. Okay, so if you're going to display it inside a cabinet, you want at least 31 inches, preferably 32, so that you have some room to maneuver. Okay, so now with everything in, we'll do a 360 a couple times so you can see the detail on this guy. So from the front, we'll spin it. This is with the regular Canon arm. It's still very cool. So as you can see, it's pretty detailed with the tubing in. Like I said before, the tubings are painted on, so you have to be careful when you put it in. And really, these tubes should be maybe another inch or 2 longer, so that'll be easier to put in. And one point of interest that you might want to pay attention to is this part right here. These two, when you connect them, they're going to be harder, so they don't come out, and they do support the left arm somewhat. Okay, so we'll do the spinny. You can see there, and then we'll go back one, and then we'll get into the more details. Okay, so let's take a zoom in to see more details, and we can talk about that. Okay, so after the 360, we'll go for more details. As you can see, his face is pretty well done. It's got the gritting teeth, and then this is natural sunlight color, so I've got sunlight to my right. And I guess from the pictures that people post online, it looks like the color is kind of a little bit faded. This is a true color. It's not bad. It could be a little bit bluer. The shoulder pads will be, I guess, glossy with that, and then the rest is flat paint. So you can see, mine came through pretty good. Some people have paint runs and brush strokes. Some part of mine has the brush strokes. I guess for something this big, unless you're doing spray paint, you're gonna get brush strokes. It's impossible not to have it, especially when, you know, some minimum wage factory workers painting it. And as you can see, the gun looks pretty good, but it doesn't really fit flush into mine. So like I said before, I'm gonna try to get a replacement. It's got some form of gunk or rust buildup. And we'll go. And I love these tubings. They're so cool. And I did not know Apocalypse had 4 of these. I thought he always had 2. So maybe this is just a new interpretation of it. And I'll give you a closer look at the feet. I didn't see much flaw on this except for a couple things. Like I said, there are brush strokes. Like you may or may not be able to see it, but here you have some. But again, nothing you can do here. Very nice musculature. And then you have the A. I think the only thing that bothers me is this. Why would Apocalypse need a ventilated cup, especially on the outside? So I don't know if this is a sideshow thing, or if he's actually drawn like this in the comic book. Well, either way, it's kind of stupid though. And as you can see, mine came through pretty good, other than the gun not fitting in properly. So I'm just afraid that over time it might pop out. And a bit of advice for you guys: when you put the gun or the chainsaw on, cup the bottom like this, so that the arm doesn't fall off, because it doesn't have a really strong magnet. It has no magnets at all. Okay, and then like I said, these things will support it some. So be careful with that. I love the veins on this. So this is what the true color looks like in natural, I guess, not direct sunlight. But it's not bad. Some pictures online you see, it's yeah, some got kind of light, but mine did not come out that way. And you have some nice shading. And this thing is pretty big. The only thing I don't like about this statue is, other than the cost, of course, it runs around 600 plus shipping. is the statue is really hollow. It's eggshell. I don't know if you can hear this. It's hollow inside. Okay, and for $600 statues, at least make it a little bit heavier. I did use a scale, a bathroom scale, to measure both the statue and the base itself. Surprisingly, the base is pretty heavy. It comes in at around 9.4 pounds, and the statue itself weighs around 14 pounds. That's with the accessories, the arm, the tubings, and of course the gun or the chainsaw. So in total, you're looking at 23.4 pounds, which is way less than what Sideshow's saying. It's 35. It's not. Maybe that's dimensional weight for shipping, but realistically, it's 23.4, give or take a pound or so. I've measured it both by putting the statues and the base on the scale itself, and then I got on the scale, took my weight, and then subtract out the difference with the statues in hand, and it comes out, within half a pound or so. So we're looking at about 23.4. The good thing with the lighter statues is that when you transport it, and the box is pretty big, it's pretty bulky, so it's kind of hard to bring in. That's the good thing. The bad thing is, of course, you're not getting your money's worth. Okay. I just love the tubing. They did this right. Except, like I said before, the tubing can use maybe another inch or two, and it would probably be better. And be careful with these. This is not a natural gray, plastic gray. It's actually painted on, so when you take it off of display, just be careful when you bend it. Just give it some slack. Okay, and then look at the big A. Overall, very nice sculpt. Now, what I'm going to do is take off the gun and show you the exclusive, which is really the chainsaw, as you can see there. Okay, so hang on. Oh, and let me show you this. Right there. Okay, now we have the chainsaw in. So we'll do a quick 360 so you guys can see. The chainsaw is quite cool. I don't think I liked it at first. I thought it was a gimmick. But once you have it on, it looks fantastic. I'll probably be displaying it with the chainsaw more because it just pops out more than the gun. Okay, so we've got the 360 spinny. Okay, and then just to let you guys see the detail on the gun. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to take it in a little bit closer. We have a look at the chainsaw. Okay, let's see. It's nicely detailed. I think I have some brush, not paint run, but brush strokes on it, but you won't be able to tell by just looking at it from this distance. The only thing I don't like about the chainsaw is, I don't know if you can see here, there's this unused space. That's where the gun would reside, all the way down here. So the chainsaw makes it kind of awkward looking, but I guess that's okay. Most people won't even notice that. This is very nice done. I don't recall reading in the comic books that Apocalypse ever has a chainsaw for an arm. I think this was done, this piece was done based on an art print, or one of those prints from Marvel. So, but nevertheless, it's kind of cool. The only thing I would like more is maybe they can come with a switch out hand like this. Okay, so if it Sideshow had included another hand, maybe an open arm, something like this, that would have been cool. Just another display, but they're kind of skimpy on accessories, so something like that would have been cool. Okay, so let me see. I can't really find a lot of major flaw in this statue other than the aforementioned lightweight for it. But overall, it's 23.4 pounds, something like that. So that's pretty heavy when you pick it up. It's just, I think it's the bulk. That's what throws you off. And this guy is pretty difficult to move, if you will. Getting down into the basement, it's like I gotta take the figure out. Start carrying the whole box. And then you can see, and I can't get over this. What is this? Protecting his family jewels or something? That's just, it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. And you can see the veins on them, pretty cool. I'm pretty lucky. I got good paint apps on mine. Now it's not perfect. I'm sure if you use a macro lens on the camera, you will definitely find some flaws. But overall, it's pretty good. I have some very little paint run, but not noticeable. And like I said, those brush strokes, these are hand painted. One thing that I would recommend is for something this big, you're gonna get a lot of brush strokes. Just because the factory, when they paint it, they're not gonna take their time. Time is money, so they're gonna paint it quickly. And the problem with that is when you try to do it quickly and you don't use enough paint, you're going to get the brush strokes. So what I would recommend for Sideshow is, and any companies, is that for something this big, what you want to do is just use some form of spray paint for the large area, and then have the factory painter go in and maybe paint the head or something, where you can't really. Sorry, you can't really spray paint this, but the face looks nice. And so you can definitely paint all of this all around it. It'll be more consistent, and then have the factory worker or individuals, I guess, paint the hands and stuff like that, and the details. Yeah, you won't get the paint runs won't be as noticeable on the smaller statue. But on these, definitely, you notice it. And I guess for this one, is the EX the exclusive? The chainsaw must? I don't think so. You can get away with it if you like it. Then obviously, it's a must. But having the cannon itself, it's that's more Apocalypse in the comic book. With the chainsaw, it's just a cool alternative display that you can do. You don't need to have it. It's just nice to have. So I think these are sold out now from Sideshow. If you can get your hands on the chainsaw version, which is the exclusive, then yeah, go for it. You may be able to save a couple bucks by going with the regular, which is fine. But chainsaw is cool. I thought it was a gimmick actually at first. And I didn't even order this guy, but I changed my mind later. So I'm glad I did though. The scope is fantastic, as you can see, and I think this is done by the Gore Group or something like that. I'm not sure, but you guys can look at it. And very nice in detail. The base is cool. Knee pads, I understand. Cup, ventilated kind, I don't. So it's got the big A. And as you can see, the base. And let me use zoom in to see the face. It's detailed, I like it. The only thing is, I notice this line right here going across. I think that's the style of whoever sculpted it. He's got massive underbites though, but that's okay. For some reason, I just love the tubing. See the arms, very good, very detailed. Okay, so I think this is all I have to say. So we'll go to the scorecard. You know what, guys? Before we go to the scorecard, let's do a 360. This thing's massive. Coming in at just over 2 feet tall, including the base. You know, not the prop that I have it on, just the base and to the head. This thing is so cool. Now, I'm not a big Apocalypse fan, but I just had to get one. I think these are sold out, like I said. So if you're on the fence, get the regular. With the gun, it's still good, just not as nice with alternate display. Sorry, guys. One more. It's very nicely done. Okay, so we go to the scorecard. This one is a tough one for me, just because this piece is obviously very nice. So the scope wise, it's fantastic. It's one of the best scopes out there. If you've ever seen these guys, I think it's the Gore Group or Mountain Canal, I can't remember. But you can check it out, and I apologize if it's not him and somebody else, and you know, I'm giving somebody else credit. But the scope, I would put this at least a 9. There's only a few things that you know, it bugs me. It's just that, I guess I haven't mentioned this. It's the left arm. This thing's huge. I mean, we take back, so it's an over-exaggerated arm piece. It's okay. It's just, I guess that's the style of whoever scoped it. So that's a little bit, you know, too big, I think. And other than that, the overall scope is very good. And you get the veins. The only thing I don't like is ventilated cup. It can go, but you know, you can't remove that. So overall, overall, I would give this a 9, 9.5 possibly. Just because this part bothers me a little bit. But the other part, fantastic. So for sculpting, we'll call it a 9. And then I guess the next thing is fit and finish, which would include the paint. And if this was a mixed media with cloth, then we'll you know, include the tailoring. So for this one, my particular one, I will give it a solid 8. However, from reading on the forum, I notice a lot of people have problems. I don't have those major problems, but with mine, like, you know, when you zoom in and you use a macro lens on a camera, you will see some very little, with mine, very little paint run, but I do see paintbrush, and that could be better. Should have been better, but then again, you know, these factory guys are getting paid probably next to nothing to do this. But again, that's not an excuse. For a $600 statue plus shipping, this thing should really be nicely done. Other than that, the fit and finish, yeah, like I said, it's an 8 for me. I'm sure the other people on the forums will have a different opinion. Because there's no way, especially if they're getting crappy pieces, and I do feel bad for them because these things are sold out and allegedly there's no replacement at all. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I guess they can always get the regular, and that will be fine. You just be missing out on the cool chainsaw. So again, 8 out of 10. And the next thing we'll go with is interpretation, or I guess source material, I should say. How close is it to the source material in the comic books? Now, admittedly, I haven't been reading the X-Men a lot. It's just been busy. So I don't know. The last, well, Apocalypse, I think of the classic 90s. Without the shoulder pad, he's got this thing that comes down. He's got two tubes instead of, four tubes. I don't recall him getting four tubes. And I guess he's somewhat of a morpher. He can change his body and stuff like that. So, so there's no, I guess, correct one. But from my memory, I remember two tubes instead of four. Didn't have the shoulder pad. But when you look at this, if you read the comic books, it's Apocalypse. Okay, there's no doubt about it. This is Apocalypse. So in that regards, I'll give it to an 8 out of 10. I would give it higher, but this is not the version that I would think when I see Apocalypse. Of course, like I said, I haven't been reading the X-Men for a couple years. Been busy doing other stuff. But it's okay. And then I guess the next category we'll go with is accessories. That would include, I guess, how many features it's got. This one has one switch out, which is the chainsaw for the gun that you can get. It's a switch out, so it's bare bone. For Apocalypse, you really need a few switch out parts. Now, there are other companies out there. There's a new company out of Singapore, I forget the name. But the Captain America has many switch out parts, which is nice. Of course, they charge a little bit more than Sideshow. Actually, a lot more. But this one, it would be better if like I said, they have a switch out hand. Maybe it's doing one of these. So that would have been cooler. And I think that's it. And so, for accessories, you don't get much other than that switch out. So I'll give it we'll call it in 7.5, 8, because there's not much switch out that you can that comes with it. And then I guess the fifth and last category we're going to look at is overall. The overall piece is pretty cool. It's kind of stunning. It's almost like, this thing is massive, over 2 feet tall, excluding the gun or the chainsaw. With the chainsaw, you're looking at maybe, I think it's 31, right? I said 31 inches. So it's very nice. I mean, when you pick it up, it's just massive. The thing that I don't like about it, I guess, or it could have been done better, is if it's actually it's got a little bit more weight to it. Now, the shipping, I guess, from Sideshow's website, they say it weighs around 35 pounds for shipping. No way. It's not even close to that. Like I said, using a bathroom scale, I was able to measure it with the base. The base is pretty heavy at 9.4 pounds. You're looking at total of 23.4, so the statue itself is 14 pounds with all the accessories. Give or take half a pound or a few ounces. So it could be better. And in general, I don't like hollow statues. Not only because I don't feel like you're getting your money's worth. It's just that over time, I think it's not going to be as durable. It's more susceptible to shipping, vibration damages, and stuff like that. What Sideshow can do is, now obviously I'm not in production, so I wouldn't know. But I know from Home Improvement, you have this foam that you can inject into hollow spaces, and when it dries, it forms this hardening foam. It weighs next to nothing, but it gives it a little bit more, I guess, mass, but not weight. So definitely they could do that in the future. I don't know if that's feasible. And the cost shouldn't be that much. I mean, you can get like a pack of them for like $5 or $10. Maybe have a hole, fill it in with the foam. So the weight would be down for shipping, which I appreciate. And then have it more solid. So other than that, just the hollowness of it. That's the problem that I have. So, but other than that, it's a very cool statue. So, I guess the overall score, we'll call this. I really like it. Not a fan of the character, but I have to have it. Just a cool scope, and like I said before, the size is just massive. It's got a lot of presence. So we'll call it overall, given some problems that other people have had. I will say I'll give this an 8.5, not quite 9, just because of the hollowness. I just cannot give it a 9. I got to mark off a point for that. Other than that, I really like the way this is set up. The tubing, my paint job's okay. The color is a little bit light, but you can repaint it if you want. I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't. I don't have the skills. So maybe if you know somebody who does it, and I think on one of the forums, those guys are really good, and I expect somebody to repaint it. So an 8, and I said an 8.5. Yeah, we'll go 8, 8.5. This one is actually a keeper. I think in the future you're not gonna get any more Apocalypse, at least not from them. I know that Singapore base company. That's on the forum. I can't remember the name. They preview a bunch of the like Magneto that Sideshow has yet to do. But they, like I said, they're very expensive, and I think they have a license for Asia, but not to import in America. So you have to import in that. I mean, you have to go through one of the online sites, but it's not cheap. So I guess some people are waiting for them to do it. I wouldn't get this. You're not gonna get another Apocalypse from Sideshow. So there you have it. Highly recommend that you get this before they're sold out. I think on the website, the Sideshow website, they have less than 30. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they say. Even without the chainsaw, it's very cool. The gun is fine, but with the extra switch out hand, is even better. And I guess that's it. I thank you guys for watching, and leave a comment. I think I may have rambled on a little bit long on this, but like I said, it's too cool. Alright, thank you, and I guess stay tuned. I will be back on again